In this video, I'm going to be going over some engineering topics specifically related to electrical engineering and electrical engineering technology, which is something I have been doing for 3 years now at a ABET accredited university. So, my experience is going to differ a lot from everyone else's. However, my experience is unique in the sense that I've done this completely independent. I have not had any parental support. Everything that I have done in my life right now has been completely on my own. So take my advice for how you will. It has not been easy, but I have a 3.8 GPA almost for my major in electrical engineering technology, and then I have a 3.6 GPA overall. So I want to just give you some insight into my experiences, what electrical engineering technology is and what electrical engineering is, and the differences between the two. What you might want to do if you have a different mindset on your life, where you want to be, depending on your creativity and your willingness to sit in an office or have hands-on experience. So let's get right into it. If we look here, electrical engineering technology focuses on the practical application and implementation of electrical engineering principles. So, this is meaning what is kind of already implemented in industry and implementing it. Okay? So, what is already practical in industry, what is already being done in industry at this current moment, and what is kind of up and coming. So, electrical engineer so So EETs are basically the equivalent of an engineer who does less engineering with design and more engineering with implementation and hands-on doing. So you might not be in the office as much as an engineer, like a normal electrical engineer, but you will be out in the field implementing the things that are being designed, and you will still have to understand the design aspects. Might not have to understand it as much when it comes to like physics and stuff, but you will have to understand it in a sense of safety hazards. You have to understand how electricity works in general by all means. You're going to have to understand how components work. You're going to have to understand how they connect together. And you're going to have to understand how systems work in a broader range. So, electrical engineers might focus directly on like specific things and design very specific things their whole lives, and make them better and better. While electrical engineer technologists slash technicians would be just implementing that kind of stuff and maybe improving it. So electrical engineers are basically the ones designing everything, while electrical engineer technologists and technicians are implementing it and somewhat designing it. They're improving. We will improve things in the field when we see it. If we see a problem in the field, a technologist or a technician will then report that to an engineer, which then the engineer is then going to redesign around that aspect and see if they can figure out a solution that is more optimal. So the engineers and technologists and technicians all work together. They're different pay ranges, they're different types of jobs, and they're different difficulties. You need different skill sets. Like engineers typically want more training. Typically, you're going to need a 4-year bachelor's degree. Technologists, typically, you're going to need a 4-year bachelor's degree. Technicians, you're going to need probably a 2-year associates or something of that nature. So the pay ranges are different. And where I go to Michigan Tech, and the pay range is like I think $5,000 to $10,000 the difference starting pay for engineers compared to technologists and electrical engineering. So if we look at it in the basis of just pay, it's kind of minimal until you look at the long scale of time frame. So like, let's say we go out uh, 10 years into the future. Are there going to be more technologists or are there going to be more engineers needed? Well, that's going to be a completely dependable factor based on, I'd say, AI, job growth currently, and how just it's going to be very complicated going into the future. No matter what you pick, though, engineering or technologist, you're going to more than likely have a job. Because think about it this way: robots are being implemented, AI is getting implemented. Both of these jobs are completely revolved around those aspects. You're going to be able to get a job in any warehouse, any factory, and like anywhere that is producing something and needs assistance with the manufacturing. They're going to need these types of people. People who are designing systems, making new systems, improving systems. It's mainly around systems and how they operate and the small things in those systems that make it operate. So there's a specific engineering that's like systems engineering, and then there's like you can get very detailed and specialized into the engineering aspect. But my point here is electrical engineering technology and electrical engineering are different, especially when it comes to your ability to grow in the field. If you want to do research, you're going to choose electrical engineering. If you want to do, say, hands-on experience building, um, like actually implementing something maybe for like NASA or Tesla, like you're actually there in the factory doing stuff with people and like learning kind of thing. And then you're working on PLCs, you're working on the like robotics, the FANUC robotics and stuff of that nature. You'd be so all the like big robots that are building the cars and these factories and stuff. You'd be there working on them, programming them in person, while the engineers would be in the offices redesigning them, redesigning stuff, trying to look up new stuff to buy, kind of. So like they have different types of tasks than the technologists and technicians. Electrical engineering technology here at my school, Michigan Tech, we get pretty much the same type of training, type of understanding when it comes to engineering topics. The only difference is they take a little bit more math classes, a little bit more like physics. You get just a little bit different class architecture so that they can be more prepared for design and research. We are a R1 research institution in Michigan, so we are at the top, and that's a big reason why I decided to change from electrical engineering technology to electrical engineering. I'm only about one semester away from my electrical engineering technology degree. I'm not going to complete that until I get my electrical engineering degree. There's reasons for this. I'll explain it later. But right now, that is my plan, that is my goal, and that is what I'm doing. This semester, I'm taking 17 credits, and most of it is in electrical engineering. And I'm also part of aerospace and rocketry enterprise, AERE, and we are going to be designing rockets. I honestly don't know what that is going to entail, but I will probably update that through my channel. I will also be updating everybody on my channel as I go through this college journey. I have probably like 2 more years left because I'm pursuing a second degree, and now this is going to be completely research oriented. And I might even pursue a PhD. Everything I'm doing right now is independent on my own. I work 2 jobs right now in the summer, 65 to 90 hours a week. And I am about to start classes here in about 2 weeks. And then I'll be also probably working 2 jobs at the same time while doing enterprise, while doing everything else, while trying to make videos and teach people kind of how things work, where they want to be. Because the first thing in life for everybody is they need to figure out their aspiration in the sense of I enjoy doing this. I should probably pursue this and see if this is maybe what I want to do. People can get burned out of stuff that they think they enjoy, and then later on they find they don't enjoy it. And I have found that a lot, especially even in electrical engineering technology. I have found that a lot. So getting the hands-on experience, I have learned that I don't think I will enjoy it as much as the design aspects and the research, because I like to define new things and I like to create new things. I like to completely innovate. I like to make disruptive innovation. That is just me and my personality. So I decided to go down this different path while also having the already hands-on experience and a good GPA. So you decide your fate in this world. It is expensive to go to college. It is very expensive. I am grateful that I have as much assistance as I do and aid, which has all been done by me and all done. So the only person I can thank really is me and the government, because the government has given me some assistance, and the school, because the school has given me some assistance. So the way that you have to approach this world is you have to grasp opportunities. You have to go for them. If you find an opportunity when you're stuck, you need to just push for it. Failure is the only thing that can make you grow. Without failure, you're never going to be human. You're going to be a slave to the world. The world is going to consume you. You ain't going to be able to survive if you aren't making mistakes and learning from them. Basics of life, a little bit of a little bit of a philosophy, I guess, and yeah, we're getting some ideologies out here in this electrical engineering world, you know. So yeah, this is my point here. You have to be willing to change, and you have to be willing to grasp new ideas and think about yourself and how you will relate in the future. Doing new things does a lot for you. It makes you understand what you like and what you don't like, but it also makes you understand other people's points of views. You gain so much from doing stuff that you're initially afraid of, or initially not willing to do, or try to do because you don't think you can do it. I didn't think I was going to be an engineer. I didn't think that when I was in until probably 10th grade, I didn't even assume that I could go to college. Everything was basically a crap. It was just all crap. Nothing is even worth even anything. Everything was just nothing to me. Everything was nothing. It was just like, I'm just going to be a YouTuber who does nothing kind of deal. I don't know. I had dreams, I had aspirations. I wanted to be a gaming YouTuber. I wanted to be this. But I all related down to engineering and programming, and we went from like gaming to programming to engineering to art is what I'm doing now. And I'm slowly finding my true passion by doing more things. I've done mechanical engineering, I've done welding, I taught myself 3D printing. I've made many videos on this channel that have gone through 3D printing. I've made commitment videos that were random and just yeah, I've done some crazy things in my life. I've lived many experiences, and those experiences have taught me a lot and made me into a person, because people are created through experiences and not sitting there sitting on a screen all day. I'm telling you this advice because I'm trying to improve people's lives. If you want to improve your life, I suggest looking deep down in yourself, not taking advice necessarily from everybody else. Do not take advice from everybody else. You need to take advice only from yourself unless it's a harmful impact on other people. If you're able to make positive growth in your life without harmful impact in other people's lives, you're going to be the dominant force. You're going to dominate in this world. You're going to be happy, successful, and you're going to love your life. You can come from the bottom. You can do this. Everybody can do this. All right, enough for the motivational speaking. Electrical engineering technology, electrical engineering. You can see the difference. You can look into it a little bit more if you want. And if you want any more videos like this, let me know. Thanks for watching.